back at it. You already know Podcast Central, Coastal Chronicles NYC. You know, with that double cross. I think what we said, Dren, we called this the Duce Lounge.
Yes, the Duce Lounge.
Hash.
Invite only.
Yeah. Absolutely. Your boy Tank Sinatra, a.k.a. Taino Domingo. I got a new one. Hamilton Tank. You feel me? I need you to do me a favor, though. Call me anything, but don't call me late for dinner. You feel me? I got my brother with me, Dren Starr. Yo, Activation King, talk to me.
We here, man. We doing another one, know what I'm saying?
Yo, listen. The last one was crazy.
They all gonna
but
be
the levels keep raising, though.
Absolutely.
You feel me?
1000%.
Like, oh my God, if there was a Richter scale, sheesh, they might not let us walk through the door. You feel me? But let's get to it, man. Today we got two dope guests who's shaking things up in the world of media and entertainment. One is the founder of the Pivot Company, is a branding of multimedia expert with 20 years of experience working with top names. He focuses on elevating influencers and content creators, helping them gain massive followers. His expertise spans talent management and marketing, making a significant impact in the industry. The other, an entrepreneur, top New York real estate broker, a CEO of Synergy Team New York hosts the Connected Podcast, focusing on authentic journeys of entrepreneurs and standout individuals sharing raw experiences for success. Both are with the Listenr Network, a community focused on empowering podcasters. Their Pod Plus service combines podcast ads with influencers marketing for increased reach and engagement, offering a unique way to connect with a broader audience. Whether you're here to catch some knowledge for the industry trailblazers, to get into the future of media, or just vibe with a community is pushing boundaries, this is it right here. I like to call these guys the A&R of the social media platform.
Ooh, that's a different one.
Nah, because you know back in the days, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't have an artist without, what was A&R for?
Yeah, I mean, you know, back in the days, it was politics. A&Rs are scared to lose their job.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to make $1 million mistake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Artist repertoire, just in case y'all ain't know what A&R was. But listen, those are the people that formed all the stars that people see today. From back then, we got in the house the people that got the influences for today going to tomorrow. But let's get to my brothers, B. I'm trying to figure out, do we call y'all Listenr Network, or we just say John and Mike? What we doing?
No, we definitely just John and Mike.
Okay, so we got my brothers John and Mike in the building, / Listenr Network. My team, what's happening with y'all?
Yo, my man, I gotta take you on the road with me, bro.
Yeah.
You intro me everywhere.
Yeah, listen.
Yo, you gotta cut it out, bro. Because
Listen,
every
listen,
show
listen.
we keep getting this.
Listen.
Yo, that intro is crazy. I need it on my album.
You know what it is,
I
though?
need it on my bio.
Hold on.
Like,
Let me take a.
okay.
That's what it is.
And real quick for my brother, just in case y'all don't know, me and my brother, Toothpick Kings.
Oh yeah.
Yo, Mike, show him that joint real quick
on
though.
a
When you
second.
got your own specialized toothpick,
No, I don't. I need to. I need to.
listen, it's
But
on his way. Just to let
It's
you
right
know.
here.
Tell him.
Crazy.
That boy
Not
told
gonna tell you who it is because they didn't pay
They ain't cut
nobody.
the check yet. They ain't cut the
So,
check.
but it's fire.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
get these. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I always put people on. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely. Well, fellas, how y'all doing today?
Good, brother. Happy to be here, man.
Word. I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
So
vibe.
this is the first show that we are officially on the Listener Network.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have y'all.
You know,
man.
we,
Talk about it.
you know, again, you got to grind it out. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's looking for handouts. Everybody works hard on his team. And you know, when we started doing this, I said it's only right we take it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? And let's get down with a team and a unit that really does this.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people try to do what we doing here, and they don't do it right. The audio don't be sounding right. The visuals don't be looking right. It'd be a whole mess.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we got down with an official team, with official camp that really does this for real, and they know what they're doing. So it was a pleasure. So when you see the new show start looking crazy, y'all know why.
Yeah, because of the fillers. Uncle Phil. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Talking shit, bro.
Word up.
Talking shit.
Nah,
but yeah, fellas, individually, like let the people know, man, how y'all got into this space. And all right, Mike, since I started off with you, you know what I'm saying, and Pivot Company and all that, let the people know where you started, how you started, what inspired you.
Damn. I know the show is short. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I started in the music industry management, short story, hip hop. The stereotype is that it's backstabby, shady, and all that, and that's not my vibe. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know that. You know what I mean? And then I kind of took a hiatus, focus on starting a baseball team with my son and stuff like that. I just needed to get away from the industry, right? I'm always business, sports, like that. I was just raised in an entrepreneur spirit. My grandmother had a bar for 40 years in the South Bronx. I just been around it my whole life. So in that hiatus, I was just chilling, and then my nephew, through marriage, I was like the cool uncle because we always spoke about hip hop, and he had his friends that was doing music or whatever, and he in 2017 he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna take this seriously," and again, I was just a cool uncle that we kind of just vibed, right? And then in July, he was like, "Yo," it's so ironic, I didn't even think about it. He was like, he had a skit with Duce, right? And he went up to the Duce podcast and it was like, "Oh, that's dope," whatever. So then the next time he was like, we was talking, he was like, "Yo, Rock Nation, they had called and they want me to go up there, speak to them and title." And I was like, "Yo, you want me to roll with you?" Like, again, because now this is a different level of just whatever's happening. Sure. Ended up going. They ended up, Title wanted him to do a web series. And that was the first time I was in like a building for like 3 years, right? And I look at him like my son. Went there, and then we got downstairs, and he was like, "Yo, Mike, am I allowed to curse?"
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, feel free, sir.
Appreciate that. Got downstairs, he goes, "Yo, Mike, I had no idea what the fuck they was talking about." And I knew, and it was just a different feel when I walked in there because I was seasoned and it was just different. And then from then on, I was July 2017, started managing him. That was Chicle. And then we kind of took Chicle and Mileni, and then it just kind of built out. Ended up, being in this influencer space. People just was attracted to how I handle things. I'm honor, I'm integrity, I'm character. Like, it wasn't about the bread, and we can get into all that later. But that happened, and then formed the company, and that kind of dissolved. But John was a part of that company because of his expertise and his knowledge and his structure and organization, something that was definitely lacking, right? And then when we decided to do this, it was like, all right, we're gonna do this here. Still, we had a pod network, but it was like there's like a divide here, but we're still together, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm like on the 8th floor, he's on the 7th floor. It's like we do our job, we're together, we're partners, but I handle the management marketing. And then again, I keep saying this to everybody, like, there is no pod network, because I said it, I was like, "Yo, if you're not here, there is no pod network." To be honest, because he does this, right? So that's the alley-oop, and I'm gonna pass it.
So I'm gonna pick up on the end of that. So he says there's no pod network without me, but that's not true, because I'm not even in this space if it wasn't for him. You know what I'm saying? And when he and his former partner had their own company, I came in as support. I came in to help them with the operations, the foundation of the company, getting the thing structured. So the pod network, they had grown out the company wide instead of growing deep. And they just didn't have the bandwidth to handle everything that they were trying to do at the time. So the pod network was something that, A, I saw was a great opportunity, and B, I was like, this is being neglected. They're not really paying attention to this right now. So fast forward, the company ends up dissolving, and we like, all right, let's pick up the pieces. I was like, look, I'm going to pick up this part of it, but I appreciate the love, and you know what I'm saying, that's why we work so well together. But he says, there's no network without me. I have no footing. I don't even get my foot in the door of this space if it wasn't for him. You know what I'm saying? So that's that part of it. I told the story in reverse. But yeah, I'm a real estate broker. I've been doing real estate for 12 years now. And it's dope. You know what I'm saying? It pays the bills. It was cool. But I got to a certain point in my career where not to say that I was the best broker in the country, but for the state and for
Talk your shit, man. Don't do that. Not here. Man. Not here. We listen, man.
Yeah.
We respect what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because what the song say? Women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie, right?
Nah.
Talk your shit. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Carry on.
man. I mean, you know what I mean? We probably sold like over 500 million in the 12 years that I've been doing real estate. You know, my team was in the top 1% in all of New York. Then we branched out, got another office in Connecticut, started doing numbers over there. And then 2022, I was Realtor of the Year in my entire market. So I kind of got to a point with real estate where I was over it. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Needed something new. You needed to pivot.
yeah,
No pun intended.
yeah, no pun intended, yeah. I kind of just was like, you know what? But the thing is that's dope about real estate is that when you get into real estate, you're a one-man show. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got to learn everything. You got to learn sales. You got to learn marketing. You got to learn everything as far as structure, operations, all of that. So with building my team and building my company, I ended up in a coaching program where I started coaching other realtors. And then like 2 years later, the dude that I worked with in that company, he went in another direction and was like, yo, we're not going to do just realtors anymore. This company's going to be, we provide coaching for all entrepreneurs. So I started coaching yoga instructors, gym owners, barbers, bakers, all of that. So fast forward, when I finally left his company, me and my other partner, Victoria, she's out in L.A. We were like, yo, let's start a company to do coaching for small businesses and entrepreneurs. So when we started doing that, we were in this like beta test phase where we were like, yo, we got all the content, we got all the information, we got the materials, let's start trying it out with people. And at the time, Mike was like, yo, we need some help over here. So I was like, I bet, I'm gonna come over here and help y'all out. And what went from like a consulting meeting snowballed into, us being married now at this point. You know what I'm saying?
So do you feel that, I mean, you said 12 years in real estate, right?
Yeah.
So obviously you have to know how to do business if you're in real estate.
Yeah.
You got to get a license. You got to take a course.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that gave you the tools you needed to elevate what your skills and your knowledge into the pod world?
Oh, 100%. I feel like I said, I feel like real estate is the number one industry that if you get into real estate and you do well at it, you could take the skills that you learn in there and apply it to any industry. Like you could
like you said, you gotta. That's the only industry that you don't gotta go to college and get a degree for. You can just take a class and pass it, and you could get one sale and go through the roof and flip that bag and bounce back and do all of that. So, like I said, you took them skills and you just applied it to just everything you do and know in life.
Yeah, I mean, people think that because it's that, right? Like because it's the cheapest startup company that you could get into, they think it's that simple. Like, oh, I'm gonna just go get my license, and they see what they see on $1 Million Listing. I'm gonna run it up. I'm gonna make all this money. And you can, right? You could stumble into greatness. You could stumble into a coincidence, right? You could just get one sale that, you know what I mean, makes you a crazy amount of money. But to sustain that over years,
but even that, like a lot of people don't know. Like even what you just said, like when you come out of real estate school or whatever they call it, courses, classes, I don't know, whatever. You just can't be on your own. You got to be affiliated with a company.
Yeah, you got to work.
So
under a
that
broker.
alone already teaches you have to be affiliated with an ill team that's gonna vouch for you and put you underneath their license, and so you can get your feet wet and start doing whatever rentals first, and then you elevate to sales and yada yada yada, and then from there, you end up making your own team and y'all branch off. You know what I'm saying? So that, it makes sense when you get taught that regimen. You know what I'm saying? Because you apply it. That's obviously how y'all.
But that's the thing. That's why it was so instrumental, right? Because this is such a creative industry, right? And clearly I'm business savvy, right? I know as far as from a business side, but I'm also a creator at heart, right? So that was the thing I said, the analogy I use is I can sit here and have an idea, right? And we have a plan. Okay, we're going to do this. But sometimes I see a butterfly. And I'll be like, yo, I want to taste the butterfly. And John be like, that's cool. They're going to be butterflies. Let's get over to that crib. Because over there, they're going to have butterflies. But let's stay, you know, and that is something that was needed. There was structure needed, right? And if you're going to build a company, you need structure. It can't just be on some whatever.
Freestyle and do whatever you want.
Yeah, because again, even though we're very similar, we're both Libras, right? Very similar, but very opposite when it comes to that. Because it needs to be like that. You need to be able to have that structure in order to build. And like he said, the thing that we did wrong was we were building too wide. The intent, was there, right? Like it was great intentions. But like he said, as far as from the pod side, the pods were like the stepkids. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was just because it was like, yo, we wanted to come on. We want to help everybody. But like what happened was that just turned into, it was like they were just there, right? And yeah, we'll speak with them every once in a while. If you need us, whatever. Now with this structure, how it is, it's like literally, and it took a minute, right? Now everybody knows. I'm talking to John. Like, and John will say, like, when they ask about anything else, yo, that's not me. Talk to Mike, because there's some that are in both.
That are on both, yeah.
Right? And there's certain things, and it's like, oh, how come I didn't get to go? Because that was this side, right? And there's still there's a lot of education for them too, right? But it's like, you see the difference now. Like, now you're able to see, like, I don't care what anybody says, because I was at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, those are learning curves.
100%.
Like, you have to do those first before you get it right.
100%, bro.
It's not just about getting some mics, throwing some cameras on, and pressing record.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, like we were speaking behind the scenes. Like there's things now called digital real estate, which is wild. And if you don't know how to capitalize on that, people just have dope pods and ideas and just giving up, just leaving money on the table.
Yeah,
because they don't have somebody like.
You gotta have the editor.
Yeah, you gotta have that structure. If you don't know that, you don't know that.
I think that's because you go into it with the wrong mindset. Like, a lot of people, you got to understand, this is a business now. Just like they say that Instagram is no longer a social media platform, it's a business platform. It's the same exact thing with a podcast. If you are starting a podcast, there's got to be a plan for it. It's either you have a business and you're using the podcast to expand your reach and your name for your business, or this is another stream of revenue for you. This is going to be an actual business for you. It's not a hobby. You're not just, yo, I like to, even if it's something that you enjoy, like I like to talk sports. All right, cool. We're going to turn that into something that is going to be lucrative and we're going to make some money off of it. But you got to have that plan before you even get started, because you could turn on the cameras and record. I know a lot of people, 200, 250 episodes, never made $1. Matter of fact, lost money because of what it costs to produce and edit and all of that. And if you in the game of losing money, cool, I'll do your thing. But if you really trying to do something, you got to have a plan from jump. And what y'all did here, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? There's not people that come into the game off rip, have this type of setup, you know what I'm saying, and have this type of a look. And there's people that don't even strive to have that. They've been doing it 200 episodes, and you like, bro, like, when y'all gonna get a new camera? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all gonna get some new mics. Like, when are you gonna invest in it?
Some craziness, bro. I seen whole iPhone productions. Listen, it is what it is.
Yeah.
If it works, it works.
Yeah.
But sometimes people judge you off of that. Oh, y'all not really serious.
Yeah, but people will say that, right? And again, with that, as far as on the creation side, it's like these are creators, right? And you get an idea, you're talking to your man, yo, you know what? Yo, we should do yeah, we should. But it's usually just talk, and there's technology, and the cost it's not a lot, right? You can literally do everything from your phone. You can upload from your phone. You can shoot from regardless of the quality. You could do it. But nobody understands from the business side. They don't understand that, right? And it's something that I whether it's creators, influencers, content creators, podcasters, it's like it's a creator economy. You got to focus on the economy part. That's why brands are interested. That's why there's money being generated, because what's happened, just like hip hop, an economy has gotten created based off of creators. The problem is that because it is an art form, creators, that's why they always say, you know, you need to have whether a manager or somebody that knows business, because you are creating. But you don't realize that this business has gotten involved, and some people are like, yo, I don't want anybody to tell me, and I hear you. I have another saying that art is never wrong, because it's not. It's your form of expression. However y'all want to do this pod is y'all. Even when we have spoken, it's like, no, we haven't said, yo, y'all got to do. No, it's your creation. Now, how do we do, you know, navigate and, you know, these pieces? But people don't come into the game like that. They just think I have a good idea, and you're talking to your man on the block. Yo, you know what? You should. I hear you. Until it gets that there's work, and it's a low cost of entry, but people don't know that there's a work ethic put, you know, because now everything is just here. Everything is so low cost of entry. You know what I mean? But, you know, y'all ain't that. We ain't that.
How do you? I'm gonna separate y'all too, but it's gonna come full circle. How do you, being that you have your roster of clients and influencers, how do you determine who gets down with you? Because I'm pretty sure they're knocking on your email.
What's the criteria?
Doors. Like what does it take for you to take on a client? Because I'm sure Joe Small walking down the block, see you walking with one of your clients, and be like, yo, I heard you to be homie. I want to be down with your team. Yeah. What I got to do? How do you go? How do you feel?
Yeah.
How do you?
Well, I'll tell you, I've done things a lot different now. Yeah, super different. Because I always say, like, when I get involved in something, you know how they say, oh, I'm in knee deep, pause. I get in neck deep, super pause, right?
Yikes.
So,
No, he paused himself.
Yeah. Trust me.
He know the room he in. He read the room.
100%. The pause meter. Digital real estate.
The levels went up.
Yep.
Shot up.
Oh, the pause meter. Crazy. Sponsored by. All right. Anyway.
Exactly.
Anyway, told you we was going to come up with something. Knew that. But, you know, the way I approached it at the beginning was very different, right? Because it was very much the basic management. Hey, I want to sign you, and I think you're great. Because I think everybody has talent, right? And my mom asked me this question years ago. And I think the best answer is at the end of the day, however you work here, you have to be a good person. That's, for me, that's the first criteria. Because if you come and you're sitting here talking about, yo, I'm just trying to make this bread, like I'm off that, right? But I've separated things where it's like there's management clients and then there's non-exclusive clients. So, and my contracts are 30 days.
Break that down for the people that might not understand.
Right. So normally a management contract will be like a year, right? Exclusive management. Hey, you're with me for a year, certain percentage. This is what we do. I've done it where it's 30 days. It automatically renews every 30 days. But if you don't want to be here, don't be here.
Yeah, you ain't trying to lock somebody that don't
because
want to be there.
Because I think that's the problem. Again, with managers, it's a stigma.
So let me stop you right there.
Okay. You saw the passion, right?
Let me flip on that. So let's say you got a client, you're activated, 30 days, he's popping. You got him everywhere. 30 days up, and he want to bounce after all the legwork y'all put in.
It is what it is.
Just take it. You know what I'm saying?
It is what it is.
Okay.
Because if you don't want to be here, why I got to fight to keep you here? Like if I got you a deal that's like a year, like that's in the paperwork. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like whatever, if you decide to leave, I still get paid for the deal that I got you. But if that's what you want to do, I don't want to be with you anyway. My whole thing is not about the bread.
Yeah, because you know in this industry we're in, a lot of people, they do that. They piggyback off of our relationships and who we know, and they see how far they could get, and then they jump to the
and you know what? That's why I have literally, I don't want to know your IG name. Like you could tell me or your follow. Yo, there's so many times that I've had people come to me, yo, or somebody wants to introduce me to somebody. Yo, they got million bands and I'm like, yo, I don't care about that. Yo, what's your real name? All right, we're gonna have a conversation. And I literally do like an interview because I want to know where you came from, why you doing this, where you trying to go, to see if it's a fit. Right? And that's why a lot of times, still to this day, there's some people I'm working with no paperwork. If I get you something, no one's gonna. If I call you and I got bread for you, you're not gonna tell me no.
Word.
Right? So
Where you said you at? Pulling up.
No. But this is what I'm saying. So it's like, why am I gonna lock you down? Like I'm not even gonna do that, because for me, I equate it as if you single, right, and you go to a club, whatever, you meet somebody, they cool, the vibe is there, and then they be like, all right, I want you to come live with me for the next year. Hold on a second, I just met you, right? It's the same thing of if I met somebody at a networking event that you can speak to, and it's not loud music, an actual networking event, right? so, you know what I mean? That you could sit there, and then I'm like, yo, sign this.
No, it's just crazy.
That's mind-boggling.
Now, it's different because I feel like I've built a reputation of who I am, and people know how I work. You know what I mean? Because I have all of that integrity and all that type of shit. Like, I don't give a shit. I tell people all the time, have I negotiated millions of dollars for creators? 100%. What separates me is the millions I've turned down because it didn't make sense, or I thought it was a bet. Yo, bro, I literally just had a situation. Turned bread down because I thought they wanted to give me bread to go this way. I felt this way was better, so I went that way. Told the creator, they were like, damn, Mike, that's crazy. It's what it is, and it'll come triple fold. Like, I don't move like that.
Everybody don't got integrity, bro.
My saying, and I just posted a video about it. It's my saying. You know my saying. I don't chase the bag. I pick up my luggage. That money's meant for me. I'm not gonna be out here chasing bread. I'm sorry. I want to make money, and you're in business to make money, but I'm not chasing it. Don't sit there, and especially now, there's a whole nother conversation about the black and brown creators that you want to just get $200. Yo, just go do that. Dance. And there's people that'll do that, and that kills the industry. That kills the industry because then they come to me, let's just say, and I'm like, yeah, they worth this.
Do it for this.
Mm-hmm. So go get that.
Exactly, go do it.
Go get them.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think that's the battle. And then going back to who I want to work with on an exclusive aspect, you have to be business minded. Like, if you're not sitting there thinking about your career and you're not focused on the economy part, and again, it's not the money part. If you're not trying to build a business, because I'll combat the A&R aspect of it, and I'll say we're more like CEOs of their brand, right? Because the A&R is there, you know what I mean? We're so, like, when you're a manager in the beginning, you're everything. Yep. You're the manager, you're the agent, you're the Uber driver if you have a whip, you're the therapist, you're everything. And then as the client levels up, then all those pieces should be dropping off where you can just be a manager. And then the biggest thing is, agents, right? People think it's the same thing. I had that literally. I was, talking to, hey, I want to talk to this agency, and they're a big agency. They're like, Mike, isn't that what you do? I was like, I can do that, but you want to have an agent because this is what they do.
Yeah, because see, a lot of people don't understand. You play your position,
100%.
Like, and that's why y'all activate the way y'all do, because you do what you're good at. He does what he's good at. He stays in his lane. You stay in yours. There's things that he sees. I've been with him when he calls shit out. This is what he does. You can't even be mad at him. Like this, you know what I'm saying? I'm the same way. I can't help myself. When I know about something, I'm going to say it. You know what I'm saying? When he started this,
yeah,
I said, bro, I see what you're doing. He's family. So, I pulled up to the crib and all of that. I said, we can't do this like this. If you want to do this, I see your vision. I see it. Trust me.
Right.
I done stole the airwaves. I get.
I'm still waiting for that.
You know what I'm saying? When you want to be a one-man army.
100%.
But now, I say that to say that this space has elevated so much. The bag in this space is wild.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So back to, what John was saying is that if you don't have a structure, you just bugging out. You're leaving money on the table and you just doing it to do it. It doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? You got other cats that are doing this and they super up. Because, their situation is right.
Yeah.
It might have not been right the first time. Like you said, y'all was going too wide. Yeah. But if you don't do that, you don't learn.
100%.
And then you need somebody to pull up on you, be like, yo, I see what y'all trying to do, but hold on, we got to do it this way.
Yeah, that's the conversations we have, not to cut you.
Get success,
that's what we do. We be like, yo, when things happen, part of the growing pain, this is what it is, because literally it's almost like you feel like, from a sports analogy, there's, especially in baseball, we have rookie ball and then low A, high A, double A, triple A, and then we in the mid, and that's kind of like how we are, and like I said, it's just like what you said. That's why I think this works so well. I do what I do, John does what he does, and it's literally like it's so great now because anybody, and you could talk to either one of us, right? Yeah, but at the end of the day, I'd be like, Yeah, what I told you, B. I told you, John, B. Like that's, you know what I'm saying?
department.
That's
That's
aisle
the
6.
department.
You know what I'm saying? You in aisle 5 right now. You got aisle 5. I'll tell you where the stuff is at. You know what I mean?
And that's one of the things that we made a point to, especially me, like anybody that come to the network, like full transparency. Yo, listen, y'all see my Instagram, you know my background. I'm in real estate. I haven't been in this space for 100 years. I'm new to this. This is what we're doing here. This is what the goal is. Now, if you're here to make $1 first day you sign, this ain't the place for you. Because a lot of people got it twisted.
Takes work.
It takes a lot of
Takes
work.
work.
And
It don't happen overnight.
And you know, me and Mike, we work with ad agencies that on the low end will cut a check for a pod that does 8,000 downloads a month. But then we spoke to an ad agency last week. Homeboy was like, "Listen, our lower tier is 25,000 a month."
Sheesh.
He was like, "Our higher tier," he said, I got a brand that is giving out the bag right now. They won't work with any pod with less than 75,000 downloads a month." So you do the math. Like, you're talking over 1 million downloads a year. So if you're somebody that just got started, or you somebody that been doing your thing, but your numbers ain't right, you know, the quality ain't right, this is the place where we get you right.
Gotcha.
Get you on the right track and show you how to do this correctly. You know, like when I started with, I was like, listen, this is going to be a resource center and a community over anything. Monetization is last. This is the first thing is going to be, community, resources, knowledge, monetization. And that was because y'all need to understand what it takes to get to the bread. Y'all need to make sure that you have your pod and your business right. That's why the very first class we did was our master class. We do one master class every month. The very first master class, Ash Cash taught. Shout out to Ash Cash. It was business basics. Yo, do you even have a business set up for your company yet? All right, cool. The second master class was on getting
Instrumental.
Yeah. Second master class was on getting business funding, getting business credit, working capital, because when you want to elevate your brand, you want to invest in your brand, you need new cameras, you need new lights, you need whatever. You don't have to come out of your own pocket for it. So there's been, again, like Mike says, some growing pains and some bumps and bruises, but I'm in a place where I'm super comfortable and confident in the value we provide. If you don't see that, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? You keep it moving.
I'm going to tell you like this, right? Because what you said right there, like I just said, instrumental, because once again, everybody thinks you just put this camera on, you put this phone on, and it's just go. It's not go. Because if you don't have a business acumen to understand that whatever you do, this is a business at the end of the day. Like you put us in that Zoom meeting last week. What was that Zoom meeting about?
That was
just to give the people understanding on,
right?
Yeah, that was just credit.
on how, all right, y'all have a lane, which is why I say y'all the A&R of the situation when it comes to social media, because even people that have managers, managers ain't telling you, yo, listen, bro, go to YouTube and look this up, or yo, listen, I'm gonna put you in this class so you can understand the business. Even if I'm not around, you can understand this is the structure of the business. This is how we gonna get funding for the business, because it's your business at the end of the day. Even though I'm with you, I'm gonna help you build this business. Everybody's not doing that because it's a.
Well, because people don't give a fuck, bro.
When somebody does this, it's called a selfie, right? Yeah. This is the day and age that we in, the goofy era. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Which is why, like, I wanted you guys on here, because it's mind-boggling that, to me, y'all the only ones in this lane that's really out here trying to help individuals that's trying to start a podcast. Okay, you got a podcast. All right, what's your idea? All right, this is your idea. All right, look, this. Y'all pretty much like grinders. Let me get your edges right. You see what I'm saying? And that, I'm just dumbfounded by the whole thing.
You
See what I'm saying?
ever see the books that it's like carpentry for dummies?
Yeah. Help
This
me.
for
Oh, yeah.
dummies.
I had that.
That dude became a billionaire off of writing those books because like my old business coach used to tell me all the time, you haven't mastered your craft unless you can break it down to anybody. Until you're able to teach what you do to anybody, a 5-year-old, a 50-year-old, somebody who has a learning disability, until you're able to break that down for anybody, for dummies, to be able to understand it, you haven't mastered your craft. And that was what I wanted to do more than anything in terms of the pods. Like, because you might go over there and somebody might throw you a check just based on your demographic. We got a situation right now where we have a pod that they just want to throw money because this person is of a certain gender and of a certain nationality.
Culture.
She could get that check on her own without us. But the thing is, if you don't know what to do once that's over, once that play is done, then what? That's why you got to understand the business of it. So a lot of the time, you know, I'm trying to give them game. Stop thinking about the money. Let's set this up right, because at the end of the day, if I have a network, and I don't look at it as a network of shows, I look at it as a network of businesses. If I make you understand that your show is a business, and now your business has a dollar valuation, your business is worth 500,000, 400,000, 5 million, 2. I think bigger picture, yo, when there's a bigger play on the table, I got a conglomerate of 12, 15 investors that I could say, yo, y'all want to start an NBC? You got how much you got? We can't get to that point. This is the bottom level. Monetization and ad money is the bottom level. You got to be thinking way beyond that. How can I turn this into a business that I can then leverage into other situations? Podcasting has gotten me into rooms I would never be in. I shot a podcast inside of the stock exchange with one of the biggest stock traders in the world. They don't even let felons in there. I got in there because of podcasting. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just about the monetization. It's about learning the game, networking, meeting new people. I wouldn't be here with y'all if it wasn't for this. You know what I'm saying?
So now that you mentioned that, right, and we're going to get to you too, Mike. So being that podcasting wasn't like in your background and all that, right? What made you decide to get into that realm? Was it after you and Mike started?
I've been had a pod. I had a pod. If you go,
Oh, I didn't even know that, bro.
if you go to my pod page
Okay.
and you go
That was
back to
terrible.
like the first, because I don't delete shit. If you
Hold
go,
on, you had a pod or you had an iPhone?
I had a. That's
See,
what I
see,
did.
hold on a
I did. And
Okay,
that-
you was one of them dudes.
I was
Okay.
because initially, I always think my brain is analytical, bro. Like he's the creative guy. My brain is like the Matrix. I just see like numbers and graphs and charts. That's just how it works. So when I started my pod initially, I looked at it as a marketing tool. I was like, I'm in real estate. I didn't know nothing about podcasting. I said, I'm in real estate. I'm going to start a podcast. I know a bunch of dope ass people. I'm going to interview them. I'm going to talk to them. They're going to share my shit. Their audience is going to be like, who the fuck is this? They're going to come see me. They're going to come to me, buy a crib, rent a crib. That's how I saw it initially.
Which is still a great idea, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Marketing.
That's what you gotta do.
You creating traffic and you bring it up to you.
That's why I said. That's why I said in the beginning, you gotta have a plan. If monetization is not in your cards, you're not thinking about making bread, but you fucking sell used cars and you want to get more traffic for your cars, start interviewing people in the car business. Start interviewing gatekeepers that are gonna get you people to come buy from your business.
Whatever your niche is.
Exactly.
Whatever your niche is.
So that's what it was for me. But I was doing in the crib, fucked up camera shit. Like,
Then you had that iPhone.
yeah.
Then he got a shooter. Then he
Yeah.
got a shooter.
And then I
Started with the first
growing.
episode.
So do you feel, Mike? Do you feel that, I have this thing. I've been in the music industry for years. I started out as a DJ, and just to give the viewers a little background, like we was out there carrying crates. You know what I'm saying?
Real work.
And the reason why I'm saying that because that's what separates who's really true and passionate about what they're doing versus dudes that watch something like this and be like, oh, all I need to buy is a mic and a camera and a laptop and I'm good.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that back in the days. You had to have crates, bro. If you didn't have crates, you didn't have records, you couldn't rock. There was no laptop. There was no Serato. Like, there was none of that.
Yeah.
So the DJ had value at that time.
Yeah.
Because it was like, all right, damn, who can I get to rock this party? Even if it's a house party.
Right.
You still had to have crates, homie.
Yeah.
Where you get your records from and all that. You can't just go to the store and buy 50,000 pieces of vinyl. You had to have that.
Yeah. 1,000%.
You know what I'm saying? And then when you got hired, all right, boom, you go activate. So I'm saying all that to say, do you feel that this space, because it's so easy to do, is oversaturated?
1,000%. 1,000%. I say it all the time. The work ethic is so lacking out there. Like I always say, I go back to it's a low cost of entry because pod influencer content creator starts here. How do you get this? 9 times out of 10, probably 11 times out of 10, a parent, somebody, you get it as a gift. You don't buy this. You usually get the phone. Shoot a video. I'm on my way to be an influencer or a podcaster.
Yeah, it's
right?
crazy.
And because everybody can do it, everybody thinks they can do it. Once it starts to turn, once money is involved, just like what happened with hip hop.
I'm just about to say that.
Once money is involved, it becomes a different ball game. Now everybody thinks it's the easy way out. Because think about it, us growing up, right? It was you had
Sports
either sports or drug dealer.
Music.
Yeah.
No, but it was sports or drug dealer.
Yeah.
Then hip hop came, sports, drug dealer, rapper, right? Then you started to have now influencer, now podcast. Because you know why? Because these are what seem to be the easy way out. Even if you want to, but even the basketball aspect of it, or an athlete, you got to work.
Hard. Still got to work.
You got to
hard.
go through high school. You got to be nice or whatever.
Yeah.
College,
Hard.
any sport. So forget about being a doctor, lawyer, whatever. That's years. I can just go like this, and I can go viral, and it's a wrap.
Instantly.
So that's the difficulty as far as from our generation to explain. We're talking about crates, and you need people to carry those crates and all of this stuff. We're living in a 15-second, 140 character world, and people think that that's going to happen just like that. I have people that come to me, and I'll use Chicle for example, because that was my first, right? Come in here, oh, how do I get 4 million followers? What do you mean, how do you get 4? It doesn't work like that. And your audience may not be 4 million followers. Maybe it's 100,000, but you can still cultivate a business within the 100,000, and you can make money as much as somebody has 4 million. Like, there's nuances to this thing. Like, it's just not easy. And it's like, for me, when I see young managers or young people in the space with work ethic, content creators, whatever, I value them so much because it's like, okay, not to sound like the old guy, but you have faith in life. You know what I mean? I was just with somebody yesterday, shout out Storm, and he brought up like a very good point, right? As far as being older, like, you want that, like the generations are different, right? We come from that kind of, we're going to do what we got to do. Because for me, if you don't have a kid and you're not in a relationship and you tell me you don't have time, I don't want to hear that. I run a business and I'm an active husband and an active father that gets busy in those fields. And I have time to do everything. If I tell you about my day yesterday, nuts, right? But then you have somebody that doesn't want to carry wouldn't be able to carry. Oh, I can't do that, right? And these people, they be out there and they just don't know really what it takes to do any of this because they're brought up in such an easy society. But going back to Storm, he was like, we're at the age, we're the warriors. We're not supposed to be out there fighting. The next generation is supposed to be going out there fighting, but who's there that's going to do it?
Exactly.
It's the entitlement era. That's what it is.
Bro, it's crazy because
we're the last of a dying breed.
Right. And that's the reason why we will sit there and still be doing what we're doing because we're like, yo, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it because we come from that cloth. and that's why like it's very rare. I'm not saying that they're not out there because I've met a few, and I'm like, yo, and I'll tell them, yo, I respect your work ethic.
But that's why I feel like to answer that, like if I was to answer that question, I would say it's not saturated. I would not say it's oversaturated, because I not only study the game so crazy, but I speak to pods all the time. And I could look at a pod, you give me 10 minutes. Yo, send me your channel, send me the name of your show, I'll get right back to you. In 10 minutes, I could tell you this ain't
Break
it.
everything down.
Yeah, this ain't it. This not gonna work. So oversaturated in the sense of like in sports terms, there's a million kids playing college football. 150 of them are gonna make it into the draft. The same exact thing with this podcast and shit. I could look at it and immediately tell you this is not gonna go nowhere. Just based off of what I see already. And that's what it is. A lot of them are not taking the time to understand and to learn what it takes. And that's
go ahead, finish.
And that's just the nature of everything. This economy is so new. This industry is so new. I tell people all the time, like, yo, if you see the money, yo, in the last 4 weeks, there's been 4 major podcast announcements. Alex Jones, her show, Call Her Daddy or something like that, I think it's called. She got $150 million for a 3-year exclusive deal with Sirius XM. Kelsey Brothers just got $100 million. There was 2 other ones. This fashion dude got one for $60 million, another one for $80 million. But some of those are people with clout already, right? The Kelsey Brothers. But that girl, Alex Jones, she got out the mud to get to $150 million. But she took it seriously. She didn't just turn on a camera and do some bullshit. She was dedicated to it. There's a journalism aspect to it, like I talked about, knowing how to ask questions, so on and so forth. There's a lot of different components to it. You got to keep investing. You got to keep learning. You got to keep hustling. So I don't think it's oversaturated. I actually think there's far less that'll make it than there are that you know what I'm saying, are out there right now. It's a small percentage of people that will make it.
So question, right? When you guys have brands coming at you guys, how is it that do you bring it to the whole everybody that's under the umbrella, or is it particular, like,
so
you pick and choose where it happens at?
So, and this is an internal thing. This is not something that we talk externally, and we don't talk about it externally because we don't want to hurt nobody's feelings.
All right, so let me just say it like this, right? So we don't hurt nobody's feelings. So y'all just finished having, like, Kenny and Spider had Wesley Snipes had little skits and stuff like that. Like, so how does that work?
Perfect.
Perfect.
That's a mic question. There we go. That's a mic question because I'll give you a perfect example. Somebody that was at that event tagged Listenr. Everybody from Listenr got frustrated. Yo, why we didn't get the invite?
What about me? I'm down with the crew.
I
apologize for that.
Nah, it's all good. Nah,
That's why I had to clean it up.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. It's perfect. And
I mean, that's why people need to know it's
Yeah.
separate entities. How they working together.
But time out. What you said before that is even better question. When they come to us, right? We have the network divided in tiers, right? You have tier 1 shows, you have tier 2, you have tier 3. And this is what I was saying about not hurting nobody's feelings. Like, you're put in a tier based on the numbers, based on your impressions, based on how many episodes you have, based on your downloads, based on your reach. That's where you fall. There's nothing we could do about that, right?
Not a relationship.
Yeah.
That's not a relationship thing.
So when the brands come, I pitch the whole network first. That's the first thing. Hey, I got 15 shows, and I throw everybody in there. Why? Because there might be a trickle-down effect to where a tier 3 show that shouldn't get $1 might get $1 because I threw everybody in one bunch. You know what I'm saying?
And they might be hitting something different that the other.
Right.
Exactly.
1000%.
But then there's certain brands or ad agencies that'll come and say, yo, we're looking for a specific demo. We only want this demo. Who do you have? So at that point, I got to say, I only got 4 shows. I only got 5 shows. You know what I'm saying?
I fit that criteria.
Yeah. But for the most part, it's always the whole network first. Hey, I got 15. I got 20. That don't work? Okay. What y'all looking for? I got 8. I got 7 that fit that criteria. You know what I'm saying? But it's always the whole network
But
first.
you giving everybody gets an opportunity.
Yeah.
Being down, like no one gets singled out. I mean, you can't force a client to like mess with X, Y, and Z's pod.
Nah.
You show them the portfolio, and they're like, you know what, I want this one and this one.
Yeah.
Good.
And at the end of the day, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna.
But the other ones had a chance. They just didn't get picked.
Yeah.
For that situation.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, you know, right now we're not done. We're all tapped in with social media. Like right now, there's this big thing with the Super Bowl and with the whole Lil Wayne situation. Bro, I tell people, I keep it real simple. I say without Hov, there wouldn't be no hip hop.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So now, like he broke that barrier, and now they want to point fingers and nitpick. Yo, look at the bigger picture, bro.
Yeah.
We finally took over one of the biggest activations in the world,
Facts.
and now it's like, what about me? What about me?
Otherwise, it would have been Jelly Roll.
Exactly.
This
Yeah.
year.
And I heard this is the last year.
You know what I'm saying?
As far as so they gotta go do something so that you can
But,
keep
you know,
that coming back.
People, you can't make everybody happy, bro.
Yeah, of
People
course
just
not.
got to be grateful to be down with a team in a camp that's even putting you in front of these brands.
Yeah.
Because like we said before, everybody just doing this blindly. They just throwing the mics, the cameras on. They don't even know the potential that the bag you could really bring home, or the situation, or the relationships. You know what I'm saying?
And at the end of the day, it's building the Listenr network, the name, to the point where brands or agencies just come to us and be like, yo, here, we have this budget. Here you go.
It makes it
Allocate
easier for them.
Allocate it as you wish. And then it'll still be tiers, but then from a business perspective, it's like, and I'll use easy numbers. Okay, these you'll get 10,000, you'll get 10,000, okay, you'll get 3, but you're on, even if you get $500, if you're beginning, like that's kind of like how we would do it, but we're still building it, right? So that's the whole thing. But
So how did that Wesley Snipes situation happen?
So I had a friend of mine. I had met him a minute ago. He owns a studio called Planet X Studio in Brooklyn, and we've been trying to work forever. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, what's it called? Hold on, pass it. Make sure.
Make sure you pass it properly.
So he's always like anything influencer related or whatever. He was like, yo, we tried to put some things together and it just never worked. And it was nothing bad. It just didn't add up. So then he calls me literally one day and was like, Mike, I got the perfect scenario. Right. And this is perfect. Like timing is everything. He was like, I'm working with Wesley Snipes. He has this thing with Ryan Reynolds. He wants to put some content together. And he wants to do it with influencers, and I thought of you. You think we could do this? Okay, cool. But then this was the curveball, as many curveballs. But I'm Pedro Serrano. If you saw, like some people can't hit the curveball, he learned to hit the curveball. I hit curveballs now, right? He's like, there's no budget. Okay, so because that's always my first question. Is there a budget? Like, what is it? Because I have to be able, like I always say, I'm in the presenting business, not the convincing. I present it to you. I don't convince you to do anything. I tell you what I feel, pros, cons, you decide. Because I don't want you to be like, oh, Mike, you had me do this. I don't need that. So literally I put together like 15 influencers. Different levels, right? That saw the value in doing something with Wesley. Now, I had a vision already with this, right? And I always say creators don't all have vision. Right, you need sometimes it's vision to be able to see things that are not right here, right? So, and that's how I work. Is if there's no money, there's always there has to be something like whatever. So, developing the relationship, everybody, hell yeah, I'll do it. Hell yeah, no problem. But whatever. What shit? It's the GOAT, Wesley. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. I didn't say my plan, right? But of course, it's a good look. Right? and especially that you're open to do it, let's do it. So literally, John will tell you, it was literally that day I was just like, this one's scheduling and this one had to leave early, and then I'm, and who am I in this scenario, right? I'm literally the influencers coach, right? And I'm dealing with the producer, with my man Darren, and Al, who's awesome. He's Wesley's version of
Wesley's
me.
team,
Yeah, you know what I mean? So me and him, whatever, and just a lot of stuff going on. It was crazy. And that was actually the day that I was supposed to go to dinner with John. Yeah. And John had to I was like, yo.
That's why it's important to have two things. Two takes from this. One, a strong team, and two, relationships is everything, bro.
Yeah, 1,000%. So that's how that ended up happening, right? And then with the tag, it was kind of like the whole listener aspect of it. But then at the end of that night, they were, this was great, and my goal since I've gotten here, even from the beginning with Chicle and Millennia, of what I saw that they had, it was always trying to break that wall going into Hollywood, right? Let's call it Hollywood. And I always got, but can they hold more than a minute, right? Because it's only a skit.
Yeah.
And I always felt like they did, and I try to surround myself, because influencers, when people hear influencers, they think, hey, unboxing, hey, I get that. I try to surround myself with talent that is beyond that, right? So
that's just what got you here, as far as the person looking in.
Right. So that day was great. We should do more stuff or whatever. I said, yeah, there's a couple of people here, especially. I was like, I really wanted you to look at, and they had pointed out a couple, and I don't want to say, you know what I'm saying? They were like, yeah, for real. Long story short, I get on the phone, they call me back. They're like, Wes loves this.
This one, I had some cookies. It's called Kamoto. Is it Kamoto? That's what I'm hearing. I don't know if
It's been a long time since I've had the Kamoto.
This was amazing. They were so floored by the talent from social media influencers. They were like, because I told them, I said, my goal was always to put something together, a show. Now, we've had conversations, we've put things together. They've already had conversations with some pretty big people about putting this show together. And that was the whole, for me, it was the whole, you didn't get bread. But what's about, because I don't want to talk too much about it, but what the plan is and what it looks like is fire.
Of course.
It's
but
fire.
There's certain situations that I call for. Like, that's a perfect example. Like, that was a great question, because when it comes to something like that, it's not about the bread, bro. You just can't be with Wesley Snipes and do something like that without having somebody like you that has that relationship where they put that trust in your hands.
Right. And that was the thing too. So the thing was there was no monetary budget, but I said, can they at least do a skit with him for their page? Because that's social equity for them. Of course. Don't need no bread.
That's huge.
And there were people that really leaned in. Some people were like, nah, I'm good. Like, which was fine. They were fine with just posting whatever clip they were going to get.
Don't get the big picture, man.
But then they got that, and it was just like, all right, cool. And as long as everybody was happy, I was cool. Because like I said, there was a plan behind all of it. And my whole thing is I never want anybody to feel used. Like, listen, I'll tell you, there's no budget. I'm being honest with you. You know what I'm saying?
So, on that, what you said right now, right? So let's just say if this becomes an occurrence where you bring something to the table and whoever's under the umbrella, they feel like, oh, nah, I ain't finna do that. Oh, nah, it ain't no money. So what's the next step? Like, as far as you dealing with
I hang up.
Yeah, it just don't happen. Yeah.
And I go to the next person.
That happens on the pod too.
Yes,
I came to them last week. I said, there's a big brand here.
Yep.
They have product. Do y'all want product? There's no money. Do y'all want product? And I told them from a creative standpoint and a business standpoint, y'all could finesse this, right? How do you make this look like something more than what it is? Because this is all perception, right? How can we create perception? Like, there's a brand. They're giving us product. If y'all want the product, I'll get it. Y'all can finesse it on your shows, whatever. 2 people said, I want that. and one of them is a brand new pod I just brought on, and they jump out the window with everything. They're like, yo, give me whatever. We with it. There's some people that are like that, some people that don't.
And that's why we cut in the
There was
fat.
a message in that question, by the way. Niggas better stop trying to get the bag and just get the opportunity.
Yeah, but people don't understand that, bro, because there's even certain scenarios where if there's nobody, I don't want, my man, you're not there yet. You know what I mean? And that's why, like, he and I will have conversations on the pod side. Like, yo, we want people that are willing to grow.
You gotta keep banging, like they say.
Yeah.
Keep banging, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody knows you.
Everybody think they're gonna be casting out by the end of the night.
But you also got to understand that we as the owners do that too. It's no different. You know how many meetings I take that turn into nothing?
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing. There's no deal done at the end of the meeting. There's no like, yo, so next week we're going to send out the contract. Nothing. I got to take every meeting.
Yep.
Because I don't know what's going to hit and what's not. It's the same exact thing as a brand giving you product and saying, yo, there's no money. But if you go and do some shit with it that goes viral, and now I could say, yo,
Look what happened. Look at the numbers.
my people went crazy with this. What's up? Now I could get you a bag. Now I could get you a check.
Yeah, with the good brands.
Yeah.
Like don't have anybody trying to get some free stuff,
Yeah.
Timmy's Pizza.
Yeah,
And then be like, yo, it's
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Timmy's Pizza if there's one out there. But the thing is that you gotta, like John said, there's a thing. I don't care what it is, you take every meeting. Because at the worst that could happen is that the person knows your name, knows your company, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Thank you, brother.
That's it. Make sure you do that right.
Shout out to Deuce saying
Shout out to
names, by the
Deuce.
way.
Say,
You know what I'm
Word
saying?
up.
Facts.
Since we talking about brands.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So what's next, man? What's next for y'all? Like what's going on?
What's in the works?
I mean, for me, like, and I just like shared this, I just had this conversation with Mike the other day. What I see this landscape turning into is, I think that people got to get more creative with pods, because so many people are watching it, and you got to think about the average listener or viewer's attention span. So you got to get more creative. You got to shake things up. But ideally, to get back to where the company once was with its own studio, and for us to start producing some homegrown shows in-house that we own.
Fire.
And because everything is about equity, and eventually even having that with pods too. Like, yo, listen, I got a couple dollars that I'll invest into your show. Give me some equity ownership of your show. We'll make an investment into the show monetarily and into the growth of your show, so that we could grow the network. Because at the end of the day, right now we're at like 14 shows. We get to 50 shows. That's a different look. You know what I'm saying? It's a very different look when everybody's scrolling on Instagram and they see Listenr.
How long has network been up?
Officially, like 4
What time
months.
is it?
Exactly. Like 4 months.
So it's still new.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the basis was with the previous one, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah,
them, it was
so
just
just
literally
moved on.
just, hey, new paperwork with new name.
Yeah.
You know
As
what I
far
mean?
as the shows.
Right.
Shows, okay.
As far as the shows.
Just the
but
structure is
but
different.
the structure.
Yeah.
And shout out to Rick, who's on our team, and shout out to Natalie. Natalie is listen, man, she's my secret weapon. Like everything you see on our Instagram, our website, our back end paperwork, our everything, the paperwork, administrative, everything, that's her. You know what I'm saying? She gets that done. And without her making those things happen, you wouldn't even see half of the things that you see. But 4 months, we've built what it is right now.
So you got the new company for 4 months, but then we got over like 20, 30 years of relationship in the industry.
Oh yeah, like that,
is,
and that's
This
the
gives
thing.
leverage crazy.
But that's what it is. It's like, it's all about that, right? It's all about the relationship aspect of it, because it's literally when you develop the relationships, it's one phone call, right? I've had people that in different agencies that they've moved from one agency to the next. They're like, yo, this is my first week here, Mike. I moved agencies. Just want to let you know what's up. This is what I got. What you got?
Fire.
Because the thing is that's what it is. Because the transition to a new company, it was just a name. That's what it was. You had the same integrity. You had the same, you know what I'm saying, like same like foundation to it. It was just like, and you know, for me, from that aspect of it, it was literally transitioning to, yo, stop calling me. John got it, right? And y'all see, like, it becomes, I could say, yeah, John got it. But I'll even tell people, like, yo, I wasn't even calling y'all like that. Like, you see what it is. This is being built. This is everything. Honestly, this is everything that I definitely had wanted in it, but I couldn't. I didn't have the bandwidth. Because like I said, I go back and I know he says as far as without me, there's not that. But as far as this, bro, I literally had said, I might have had told, I don't know if I had told him, but I definitely had told, I think I was talking to Ash actually. And I was like, yo, bro, John's not here. The network, there's no network. Like for real, like when I say that there's no network, I would be like, yo, I got to focus on this. I'm doing what I'm doing. Exactly. I can't focus on that. And I don't want to do that because that's
not what you do.
Right. And I hold myself accountable. Right. Like, right. And I sit there and it's like, I could look at a pod and literally look at them like they needed a manager. Right. I was managing the talent. Like, again, like you said, I'm creative. I'll sit there and that's why like with a lot of these meetings, John is the structure aspect of it, the number, this and that. When I'm on a call with the pods, I'm sitting there thinking about what you should be doing, Mark. Like, how does it, you could do this, you know, like that. My brain starts to go like that. Right. And they needed this. They literally, that's how I put it. John manages the pods. Like, it's like they're like clients.
Yeah, they are clients.
And it was like, imagine.
It's real estate.
Yeah. Imagine you're coming over here because I want to rock. And it's like, yeah. And we say yes. And again, I'm accountable. I said, we did you guys a disservice. This is going to be shit. And thank God that they at least had the trust to sit there and be like, all right, let me see. And I'll always say, tell me it's not different.
And I want to say that because I know they're probably going to watch this. Shout out. Yeah, they're going to watch it. Shout out to the shows that stuck around with us. You know what I'm saying? The shows that were here from the old company to the new company, because whether or not there was another play, whether there was another network for them to go to, they didn't have to stick around here.
They saw the vision.
And they didn't have to stay and see like and
Latency's a motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
You just can't find that nowadays.
And the thing is, like, with us having a team that we have, like, it like I had a pod hit me 2 days ago. They saw through my Instagram. They're like, yo, you know so and so? I was like, yeah. They was like, yo, we've been trying to get him on the pod. No problem. Hit the nigga. Yo. He was like, yo, yeah, they reached out to me. You know them?
Again, it goes back to relationships, bro. Yeah. Like, I stress that so much because a lot of these people think you could just flip some cameras on, get some mics, and people going to pull up. Nah, it's not going to happen like that, bro. It's not going to happen like that.
And if we on the same network, we all on the same team. And you heard me say this on the last, I was like, yo, y'all need to mingle with each other too. Like, it ain't just me to be the catalyst. Like, y'all should be setting up, getting on each other's shows, setting up meetings with each other.
You gotta piggyback.
Yo, how you did that? Yo, how you got this
network
person?
In itself.
That's what it should be.
Especially if we under the same umbrella, that's supposed to be a given. That's not even, you know what I'm saying?
But not a lot of people understand that, right?
They think because they down with it, they entitled. It doesn't work like that.
There's a lot of people.
Work. Some people working harder than others, and you can't benefit off of what one man is doing. And you think you're gonna get his flowers because you down with the team? Nah, it don't work like that.
Yeah, we ready to work. We doing this from a we society standpoint, and we're fighting the me society because that's what we're living in a me society. It's all about me. Going back to what you said, what is this, selfie, right? We're combating that. So when you come here, that's why it's like you gotta weed people out. Yo, you come here, you see what the vibe and the energy is, and if you're not about that, that's fine. You know, shout out to my brother Vic. God bless.
Go that way.
And it's fine. It's like that's just what it is. And I'm to a point, going back to anything pod related, talent related. I'm not stressing myself out. I know my worth. I know my value. I know what I do. I know the experience I have. I know that my intent and my vibe is all genuine. I want to help you out, but I'm not going to help you where it hurts me. I'm not doing that no more.
All right, so now that you said that right there, right? Before we end this, analytical, Mr. Mind, give the people out there that want to start a podcast what they should do.
Get yourself a John Rios. I think even here having this conversation, it's like this works, but it works really well because you do have analytical, creative, and that's what you need to do to make it happen. Yeah, you got to make it happen. What you got to do is don't rely on anybody else. Do what you got to do, even if you start with this phone. It don't matter, right? Because not everybody has the finances or whatever. Even we could sit here and be like, yeah, it's light, but it may not be light for somebody that wants to start it. Just start it. Just start it and just do, and just be intentional with everything that you do. You have to be intentional, and you can sit there and grow and do what you got to do. Don't do this because you want to make bread. If you're doing it for bread, beat it.
Shout out your socials real quick.
Oh, socials, yes.
Not your number. Not your number.
Hold on real quick. I gotta hit an analyst on this.
Yeah. He's rushing the fillers. You see that, right? You notice that?
I would say do your homework, do your research, but have a plan first, right? Everything has to be mapped out. Like, even from recording an episode. All right, so you're going to record an episode. What is the plan? Mike knows my favorite term in business is SOPs, right? It's a workflow. Yeah, it's an acronym. It's an operating procedure. You got to know from when you come in the studio, you turn on the light. So that's step 1. Step 2, you turn on the computer. Step 3, you create a workflow so that you don't miss anything ever. So what is the workflow for recording the episode? Then once the episode is recorded, what do we do with it then? Okay, now it gets edited. All right, we're going to use 6 clips. We got a content calendar, right? When are we going to drop these clips? All right, we're going to drop a clip on Monday. We're going to drop a clip on Wednesday. We're going to drop a clip Thursday. Then Friday, the full episode comes out, right? You got to have a plan, because if you're not doing that, then it becomes scattered. You're all over the place. So having a plan and just, being serious about what your goal is from when you first start.
You ready to work is what he's saying, man.
Yeah.
And basically, in layman's terms.
Facts.
But yeah, like my brother said, man, get the people your socials so just in case somebody's seeing this.
Oh, my bad. Before that. And also see other people that are doing it and doing it well.
Take notes.
Because I tell you this, and I know y'all gonna see them. NEMS is, you could learn so much. If you're trying to start a pod, watch that dude's pod from when he started to where he's at now. He's giving you the game. He's giving you the playbook. And he's always said, we just do whatever the fuck we want. Yeah, but
there's a plan with the fuck they want.
Yeah, but there's a plan. Because I watched it, and Mike will tell you, I always say it. From day one, I watched him to now. And
he's a monster.
He's doing his thing on the pod, in the pod game.
I hope we could get him on our show one day.
I hope you can too, man.
Maybe because you on the Listenr network, maybe he comes.
That's a fact.
Ooh,
you know what?
That
alley-oop would be crazy. You feel me? Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
Yikes. Stay tuned.
Uncle Phil.
Talking about
Uncle Phil.
Nah, but for real, like, shout out your socials.
Let the people know what it is, man.
How people could get down. You know
All
what I'm
right,
saying?
real quick before the socials, I want to tell y'all.
Yo, what's up?
No. You already know. You already know.
DM on some dumb shit.
Yeah, no, I want to tell y'all because I haven't told anybody yet. This is going to be because this is family, right?
All day.
All right. So I have a book coming out with my brother Ash Cash. It's called The Content to Cash Bible. Everything you need to know to build wealth in this creator economy.
Okay. We'll throw that up on the screen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's coming out early October. But it's really everything, all the jewels and sit there kind of conversation we had about what to do to be, content creator influencer. But then I throw my piece as far as what I'm big on, punctuality. But like a lot of stuff that they don't tell you. You know what I'm saying? So check it out. Find me at JUST.Mike. I spell my name MYQ. And then you can find the Pivot Co at THE. I'm sorry, THE. You're gonna put it up, right? If I spell it wrong, THEPIVIT Co. And then I'm gonna pass it.
And you can find me at John JOHN J.Rios RIOS. And you can find the Listenr Network. It's not Listenr the way it's normally traditionally spelled, but it's LISTENR. Listenr Network. You can find us on the gram. You can find us everywhere as a Listenr Network. And also, if you're a new show, you're thinking about hitting us up, you can hit us there. But we are very selective at this point in terms of what shows we're bringing on and what we have the capacity to take on right now.
Facts.
That's dope. Listen, I want to give you gentlemen your flowers because a lot of people, we the behind the scenes cats.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
We really don't do this front line, and I hate it because they run down on us crazy. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that y'all behind the scenes and you bringing this to the forefront, you know, people need to see this. You know what I'm saying? Because there's guys like y'all that are the masterminds behind a lot of this success that when they see a chicklet or they just think they did it on their own. You know what I'm saying? Well, masterminds like you and you like that are behind the scenes, sending the emails, doing the meetings, wilding out, making sure they on time, doing this, doing that, bringing this whole thing together. You know what I mean? So I just want to thank y'all for pulling up.
Appreciate
Nah,
that.
appreciate you, bro.
Speaking of bullshit people, they don't tell you about that.
Yo, but really, to piggyback on what my brother's saying, like I said in the intro, like you guys have your own lane. You know what I'm saying? Because it's rare that you're gonna find somebody that's gonna want to pour into your dreams or your vision and help you get to wherever you're trying to get. You see what I'm saying? Even though at the end of the day, a person has to put in the work. You understand what I'm saying? And that's fire to me. And I appreciate you guys for coming through. I hope somebody gets something from this.
Word.
And thank you for letting us be a part of the family.
Nah,
Facts.
thank
Welcome.
you.
For the
Happy to
Thank
have
you.
for the future,
Letting us
for the
be
future,
here.
for the future things that we're gonna do. You know,
Yeah.
God's footprint is gonna be on that. You know what I mean? Wholeheartedly.
That's a
saying?
fact, man.
And I appreciate
That's all
y'all,
good.
man.